reaches a point of maturity, the Secretary General could, at that point, undertake a visit to the state concerned with a view to finalizing the matter. EPG also recognized that since India was assuming the presidency of ALCO this year, the good officers of the Government of India could be utilized in this initiative to increase the membership of the organization. Towards this end, the possibility of addressing formal communication to interested states by the President of ALCO and the Secretary General, respectively, to prospective members should be considered. I now come to the substantive matters. The members of the EPG pointed out the need to introduce new topics of contemporary relevance and of practical benefit to member states on the work program of the ALCO. It was pointed out that topics such as current legal issues arising out of bilateral investment treaties and problems posed to host states by inconsistent arbitral awards in investment disputes, the question of piracy, and current issues relating to the law of the sea, in particular, the topic of biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, were topics of contemporary relevance to the Asian and African countries. On the latter, question of biodiversity beyond areas of national jurisdiction, EPG took the view, took note of the fact that formulating of implementing arrangements concerning biological resources beyond national jurisdiction were currently underway, and that there was an imperative need to sensitize member states of ALCO to these developments. The EPG recommends in this regard two measures. First, convening of intersessional meetings on specific topics. Without waiting for the annual sessions, the convening of intersessional meetings on specific topics, giving priority to these topics which I just referred to, current developments, law relating to foreign investment, piracy, and law of the sea, the question of biological resources. Two, reviving the previous practice of convening special working groups or subcommittees on specific topics on the sidelines of the annual session to meet simultaneously with the plenary. These groups would report back to the plenary session on their deliberations to make the annual sessions more workmanlike and interactive. In order to accommodate such new topics of current relevance, the Secretary General pointed out to the need to remove some of the topics currently on the agenda of the organization, as these had ceased to be of relevance and the law pertaining to such issues had been settled. The EPG took the view that the yardstick to be applied was whether a topic had exhausted exploration of all its legal aspects and dimensions, and those that did meet this yardstick should be removed from the agenda. The EPG is the view that the rationalization of the agenda of the organization was vital if the organization was to play a meaningful role and deal with issues of current relevance to member states, which would serve to enhance the profile of the organization and in turn attract wider membership. On the issue of scheduling the annual sessions of ALCO, the EPG reiterated its earlier recommendation concerning the advantages in convening the annual session in the early part of the year. This would inter alia enable the views of the Asian African states being conveyed in a timely manner to the International Law Commission before the Commission meets in May. The Secretary General, while acknowledging the advantages in scheduling the annual sessions in the early part of the year, pointed out that this was, in the final analysis, the prerogative of host member states and would be determined by the convenience of the host state. In this connection, the EPG was of the view that all efforts should be made at the current session to identify the host for the next annual session so that all aspects of the question of scheduling of the session could be given due and timely consideration. The meeting of the EPG was reconvened on Tuesday, the 10th of September, to continue consideration of these topics and for further reflection. And at this meeting, which I chaired, it had the attendance on, this was on the Tuesday, the 10th of September, attended by Professor Dr. Ahmad Mohammed, Secretary General of ALCO, Dr. Neeru Chadha, Joint Secretary and Legal Advisor, Minister of External Affairs of Government of India, Narendra Singh, member of the ILC, Professor Jamshed Mumtaz, former ILC member and leader of the delegation of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Deputy Secretary General of ALCO, Dr. Hassan Soleimani, Mr. Salim Hamid Al-Batashi, Minister Plenipotentiary, Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman, New Delhi, Mrs. Anuradha Bakshi, Principal Legal Officer of ALCO, and Mr. Mahesh Menon, Legal Officer of ALCO, assisted this meeting. At this resumed meeting, further consideration were given to some of these issues which I have already outlined, which were deliberated upon at the meeting held on Sunday, 8th September. And the following points and recommendations emerged at the end of the resumed meeting. Strengthening of ALCO-ILC relationship. ALCO, whilst pursuing new topics for inclusion on its agenda, should also propose new topics for the ILC for inclusion on its long-term program of work. EPG noted that this matter had been brought to the attention of the Secretary General during his annual visit to Geneva to address the ILC. As you are aware, member states of the United Nations are expected to recommend topics to the International Law Commission, the principal legal organ of the United Nations. But in the recent past, it's essentially the Commission itself which is deciding on topics and seeking views of member states. And time and again, the Planning Commission has urged member states to identify their priorities and make suggestions to the Commission as to what topics should be included in its future program of work. So the countries of Asia and Africa should identify what their priorities and needs are and communicate that to the International Law Commission. So both the question of new topics for the organization as well as recommending topics to the International Law Commission. Further, the EPG was of the view that the ALCO should focus not only on topics on the current agenda of the ILC, but also work on the topics that have been completed by the ILC and are pending with the UN General Assembly for further action. Just to give two recent examples, the responsibility of international organizations. Draft articles have been finalized. They are pending before the General Assembly, treaty guidelines, so on. Scheduling of annual sessions of the ALCO, which I referred to earlier, the further views were expressed in the EPG. With respect to the scheduling of the annual session, it was suggested that a further possibility would be to hold the annual session after the ILC session and before the sessions of the 6th committee, as has been the case this year, so that the views of member states could be presented to the 6th committee. These alternatives were, however, as already noted, be subject to the convenience of the host state, and also EPG noted the fact that this point of time provides only a narrow window of opportunity between the end of the ILC session and before the convening of the 6th committee. In this regard, the timing of the ALCO legal advisors meeting, which is usually held in mid-October in New York, needs to be carefully considered. If this meeting could be scheduled for early October rather than towards the mid or end October, before the substantive work of the 6th committee starts, This would facilitate the Asian African states in formulating their positions on the agenda items pending before the 6th committee. These are matters which would require the reflection of member states. Working methods. While reiterating the importance of holding parallel meetings or working groups on carefully selected topics which are of interest to the Asian and African states on the sidelines of the annual session, the EPG was of the view that in order to derive maximum benefits from such a restructuring of the annual session, it was necessary that member states be requested to include experts in the relevant fields as part of their delegation. A communication, a letter of invitation from the Secretary General should be addressed in a timely manner so that experts in the relevant areas could be identified and be included as part of national delegations. It was further proposed that this practice be implemented from the next session onwards. Funding. On the issue of alternate funding, it was proposed that by the EPG that the possibility of other international organizations which are interested in the work of the ALCO funding specific projects be also pursued. Finally, on the implementation of recommendations of the EPG, as I mentioned at the beginning, it was the view of the EPG that in order to ensure that these recommendations receive the due attention of member states, a separate communication from the Secretary General on the lines discussed should be addressed to member states seeking their early response on this set of recommendations by the EPG. That concludes the report of the third meeting of the EPG. I thank you, Madam Chair, and distinguished delegates for the patient hearing.
Thank you for the report. And with this, we come to a close of this morning's meeting. Since this meeting has gone on much beyond the scheduled time, Secretariat would need some more time to get the documents ready. So we would reconvene at 4 o'clock for rest of the agenda items, which includes venue for the next session as well as adoption of the resolutions and the summary report. Lunch would be served as usual at 1. And with this, we close this morning session. Thank you.